Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle Nedwick and I make healthy lifestyle videos that include some new recipes, some fashion content, some beauty content, a look into my life, and I'm also documenting my journey on a GLP-1 and Weight Watchers. So today I do have another Weight Watchers motivation segment for you. But first, let me tell you about my weight loss this week and what's been going on. So if you follow my channel, you know that I recently lost my cat Kylie, who I had for 15 years. And I still have my cat Leo, who you can hear in the background. I have nicknamed him Squawky McGee because his meows are very much like squawks. And he's gonna come up and join us. But anyway, that was super stressful. I had gone on a vacation with my fiance, Mike, and if you don't know, Mike and I are getting married October 3rd of this year. We had gone on vacation. My son stayed here and watched the kitty cats, but when we got back, Kylie had really taken a turn for the worse. And we had to put her down last week. And it was rougher than I thought it would be. So I've been struggling with that. I keep dreaming about her. I dream that she's back, you know, and in my dreams I'm like, we put you down, but you're back. You must be a ghost or something. I don't know. But anyway, she's been on my mind. Work has been particularly stressful. I'm a prosecutor in the city that I live in, and I have a ton of trials and things coming up. And I know that I have a lot of work and preparation to do for that. I'm trying to get ready for my wedding, and I really need to get my guest list together with all the addresses and, you know, get a handle on things, which I don't feel like I have. I've been dealing with little Leo here. There he is. But anyway, sorry for the hand. Needless to say, I've been feeling really stressed out and out of sorts. So I'm trying to get back in a routine. I'm trying to eat right and start exercising again. I did exercise twice this week, which I suppose is better than nothing, but it isn't what I've been wanting to do. I want to work out 4 to 5 times a week, and I know that will help my mental health and my stress level, but I've just been feeling so overwhelmed. So also, if you follow my channel, you know I'm a breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed in October of 2022. I did not have to have a mastectomy. I had a lumpectomy. I had radiation, and then I started on a drug called tamoxifen. And I think that is part of the reason why I'm such a slow responder on my GLP-1. Tamoxifen has been known to cause weight gain. So it's been a struggle. I have been a very, very slow loser. I am currently on 10 milligrams of TIRZEPATIDE. I have been on 10 milligrams for, I would say, at least 3 or 4 months. And I've been slowly eking down. In the 4 months, I've probably lost about 6 or 7 pounds. So not great. So my plan going forward is, I think it's time for me to titrate up to 12.5. Now, if you watched last week, I had gone on vacation, I had gone through the loss of Kylie, and I had only gained a pound. So I was happy with that, but I was hoping to get back in the swing of things. And this week, it was a wash. I went to Weight Watchers this morning and I weighed in and I was exactly the same as last week. So I didn't lose or gain. So I suppose that's a win. In the past, when I'm feeling like I'm feeling now, I probably would have gained. I would have eaten comfort food, drank too much wine, I don't know, but at least I didn't gain. So I think it's time to titrate up to 12.5. So I will do that next Friday, and I will report back to see how it goes and if I have any side effects. So stay tuned for that. And then I've contacted my doctor about my tamoxifen. So when I was diagnosed with breast cancer and had radiation and started on tamoxifen, it threw me into menopause. So I've been in menopause or postmenopausal for about 2.5 years. And when you are a breast cancer survivor and you are on medication like tamoxifen, there are 2 different kinds. And you can either be on tamoxifen, and that's for people who have not gone through menopause yet, and you can still be on it after menopause. But there is another type of medication, and I cannot recall the name of it off the top of my head. I will try to put it up here, but it's a different form of estrogen inhibitor, and it will not interact with any type of anti-anxiety or anti-depression medication. So prior to my diagnosis, I had been on Wellbutrin, the lowest dose, for anxiety and that sort of thing. And, you know, right when things got crazy, you know, with breast cancer and all this, I had to go off of it because Wellbutrin interacts with tamoxifen. And I've just been feeling overwhelmed. And I know with this wedding coming up and this transition of Mike moving in, trying to get the house ready and that sort of thing, I'm starting to feel like I'd like to be back on it. So also, Wellbutrin does have the side effect sometimes of weight loss. Now, when I was on it before, I didn't really experience any type of weight loss. So I'm not really looking at it for that purpose. But anyway, I hope to switch over to the new medication in a couple weeks. I've got to go through some testing first. One of the side effects of the new medication is bone density loss. So I have to have some blood work, and I also have to have a bone density scan. So once I do that, then they can start me on the different medication. So I'm really hoping that I can get back in the swing of things. I can start losing weight again and start to feel better. So that was a long-winded explanation of me telling you guys I've been freaking stressed out over the past couple weeks. I'm feeling out of sorts and not quite myself. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate all the support you've given me, you know, with everything, with Kylie, with my weight loss, and, you know, with Leo. I appreciate everything. So, like I said, this is a Weight Watcher motivation segment, and Leo is laying on my iPad. So the topic of this morning was protein. Now, my leader, whose name is also Michelle, she was not there today. Her son was graduating high school, so we had a substitute. And she was very nice, but she did not have any crowd control. And we hardly touched on the subject of protein. So briefly, we all know, and especially if you're on a GLP-1, we all know that protein is extremely important, and it can help prevent hair loss. It promotes weight loss. It helps keep our blood sugar regulated. Protein is a powerhouse, and we all know it's important. So what are some ways to make sure you get enough protein? And how much protein do you really require? Now, in the GLP-1 community, I see a lot of people, myself included, that are aiming for 100 grams of protein a day. So one of the members asked the leader, her name was Sarah. She was very nice. How much protein are you supposed to get a day? And I had never heard this rule of thumb, so I thought I would share it. She said that your goal is to get half your body weight in grams of protein. So if you're 150 pounds, you should get at least 75 grams of protein. And that makes sense. And my goal really is to get close to 100, but I don't always reach it. So what really started happening with the meeting is it turned to a talk about stress and weight loss. And one of the members fosters dogs, and she had a foster dog run away, and she was just beside herself. And she was saying she wasn't sleeping, you know, she wasn't eating. She was saying she had tracked and had been within her points all week. She had walked more than she'd ever walked before because she's looking for this dog, and she didn't lose any weight. And she was questioning, how can that be? And we all know that stress makes it harder to lose weight. Now, we've all heard about cortisol. I guess when you're stressed, your body creates cortisol, and that centers right there in your middle. The leader said, and I'm looking at my iPad, your body doesn't know whether you are running from a lion or are emotionally stressed. So it's going to hold on to your energy so that you're able to run away from the lion if that's what's going on. So emotional stress, work stress, things like that, your body is going to hang on to the energy and reserve it in case you need it. And that's one of the ways that makes it harder to lose weight when you are under stress. And then we were talking about exercise, and another member said, yeah, when the girl said she'd been walking more than she'd walked in a long time, another member piped up and said, yeah, you know, I've been really working out way more than usual, and my weight loss has stalled. But she said once she added strength training to her repertoire that she started to see the pounds drop. Now, that is one thing I am trying to prioritize. So I'm hoping once I get back in a regular routine that I will start to see some progress. The leader said, you know, sometimes you need to change up your routine. So if you've been doing cardio or just walking, add some strength training or try something different. You know, try interval training or something like that. And that actually goes towards your diet as well. If you find yourself in a rut, you can do some carb cycling or the like. And I've done that in the past, and it does work. Now, I do find it difficult to be completely low carb. But if you do 2 days of it, you can get through 2 days of about anything. And I think I'm gonna try that coming up this week. So I will report back as to how that goes. You always have to have a goal at the end of the meeting. She makes you write it down. And I wrote down meal planning and exercise. So I'm gonna take some time this long holiday weekend to plan out at least my dinners for the next week and go to the grocery store, make sure I have everything on hand. I'm also going to plan out my exercise. Now, if you've been following me, you know I'm a big fan of doing videos on YouTube. My favorite is a girl by the name of Gina B. Her channel is Up to the Beat Fit. She's from Australia. She's got hundreds of videos, mostly dance-based. She does incorporate strength training, and I really enjoy doing her videos. But you can find other videos on YouTube as well. Leslie Sandstone has, I think I pronounced that correct. She has videos on there. She does the walking videos. Denise Austin has videos on there. A lot of my favorites from the late 90s are on YouTube. And those are always fun as a little bit of a flashback. So that is my goal for this week. Now, I have had some non-scale victories, even though my scale did not budge this week. This week, people really started to notice my weight loss. I got several comments throughout the week, you know, hey, skinny. And I'm like, okay, so people are starting to see. And my non-scale victory, I'm a bit of a clothes hoarder. I still have a lot of clothes in size 6 through 8 that I'm hoping to fit back in, including a big stack of jeans. And we were going out to dinner and I grabbed a pair of jeans from like the bottom of the pile, meaning I knew they'd hopefully be a smaller size. And I looked at them, they were DKNY jeans, and I looked and tried to find the size and I could not find them. But I went ahead, I put them on and they fit perfectly. And actually I'm wearing them now and I will, here, I'll show you. So anyway, these are the jeans that I wore the other day, but I didn't know what size they were. I thought they're probably a 10. So later on that night, I got out my readers and I looked at the tag and I saw in really small faded print that they're 8 petites. I fit into my 8 petite jeans. So something I'm doing is working. I might not be seeing the numbers drop on the scale, but I am seeing inches. And I mean, that's really what's important. And I have a plan going forward to try to get this last 20 pounds off. I would like to do that before my wedding in October, but if I don't, I have my wedding dress. And if you go back, I don't know, a month or so ago, I did show you guys in a video the wedding dress that I finally settled on. And it looks nice just how I am right now. So if I lose the 20 pounds, that'll be great. If I don't, I feel so much better. I'm about 30 pounds down total, and I've been feeling good. I just have to get my head on straight. I have to get a good handle on my stress and come up with a plan to move forward. Anyway, back to Weight Watchers. Now, this leader doesn't write out a quote. Michelle, the other leader, she is a music teacher and she's very dramatic and we just love her. So, but this, Sarah was fine as well. And she did leave us with a quote. And her quote was, "Healthy is an outfit that looks different on every body." So that's something to think about. You know, one person's healthy may not look exactly like another person's healthy. And, you know, as long as you're feeling good, moving your body, trying to eat nutritiously, you're on the right track. So this is a holiday weekend. You guys enjoy yourself, stay healthy, stay safe, and tune in for my next video. If you like this video, please like it below and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow my channel, and every like and if you subscribe, if you comment below, and if you share this video, that helps the algorithm. So if you've made it this far, please shoot me an emoji of a smiley face, because I'm gonna get my head back on straight and start eating better, exercising, and I know my well-being will follow. All right, guys, I'm gonna say goodbye for now, and I will see you next time.